That's how you're gonna get low. If you don't get low, you can play these two. Guys, here's the rest of them. I checked the date codes on these amps. The oldest one I found was 3/3/2025. Let me see what version it was. This one is covered up, so I can't tell what the hell it says. Let me see, is it 3/3/2025? Oh, ground. Yeah, this is a 3/2025 V3. This is a V3 model. V3 model. All of them's V3 models, and they're only, some of them's only 2 months old. 5/15/2025. 5/15/2025. It ain't like you're buying old amps or nothing. No. These are not refurbished. These are new. 5/15/2025. Now here's the deal, guys. You know, there's guys out there running these big 8Ks and stuff that think that those 8K amplifiers will outdo these. No, sir. It will not happen. No. Guys, these amps will make 3,000 at 2 ohm at 12.6 volts. Okay? So, when you increase voltage on this amp, it's going to make way more power. Yeah. The problem is with these bigger amps, when you start trying to lower the ohm load on those amplifiers. I'm not talking lower the ohm load on these. I'm talking about just increasing voltage. Lower the ohm load on them bigger amps and try to see on them half bridge, great big ass Korean made amps. China-Rian. They make heat when you lower the ohm load. They make a lot of heat. You're stressing out the amp. You're stressing out your electrical. Your alternators are heating up. Your wires are heating up. Your speakers are heating up. The coils are heating up. When you start squatting all that down, you're creating heat. That's all you're doing. And you'll go, well, I'm getting more power. You're stressing everything out, all your equipment. Yes. Not to mention you're pulling a whole lot more current to try to make that power. Okay? Versus these amps, when they make power at 12.6 amps or volts, and they make 3,000 at 2 ohm, that's RMS power. Not dynamic. These make a hell of a lot more dynamic power. So, 3K at 2 ohm at 12.6 volts, bump that voltage up. They're going to make 3,600 watts. Bump it up a little bit more, they're going to make 4,000 watts. Bump it up a little bit more, they're going to make close to 5,000 watts at 16 volts. Not stressing it out. Do you know why? Because the voltage went up. And when you go up in voltage, anybody that knows anything about any kind of amplifier, when you increase the voltage, it's more efficient. It's not having to work as hard. The amp will run cooler. Absolutely, it'll run cooler. Now, I ain't talking about clipping it and all that shit. I'm talking about running it at 2 ohms. Go up in your voltage, this amp's going to run cooler. Your electrical will not be stressed out. Your alternators will run cooler. Your speakers will run cooler. Your coils run cooler. The whole 9 yards runs cooler. Your wires will run cooler. It's just pulling all that heat through the wire, especially when you're trying to pull a lot of current. When you go up in the voltage, you're not trying to pull more current. You're adding more voltage, which is going to lower the current. Yeah, as long as you don't start dropping the ohm load. Guys, I've run these tests so many times and tried to prove points. I did this with the Surge 3Ks at 2 ohms and was killing people's shit with way bigger amps. We could play all day, nothing get hot, not have any trouble. That's why them Harmony Audio subs live. They're 2 ohm subs, dual 2s. So if I was somebody like, know it all, if I was somebody like him, I could take his amps out and put 2 of these in on each sub and spank its ass with what's in there right now and wouldn't have half the money in it. I wouldn't even have a quarter of the money. Even at his cost. Yeah. He's paying about $700 per amp. Yeah, for them Hooligan 8Ks, that's about $700. Okay? These ain't but $139. So I can buy just about every one of these for the price of one 8K Hooligan amp. At his cost. Now, if you're off the street, you're going to pay $1,400 and $1,500. Think how many of these I can buy for $1,400 or $1,500. I can almost buy 15 of them. Guys, this is why I say, and I'm not picking on all bass heads, but most bass heads are really dumb. They're not smart people. No. They think because they can hook a system up makes them smart. No, that don't make you smart. No, it doesn't. You have to have some electronic background or go to school. Some people are self-taught, which is another thing, which is fine. But it takes years to be self-taught. At least go to school, know what you're talking about. Stop wasting your money on this great big shit that is not going to outdo this little shit. 2 of these on the right subs at 16 volts is going to spank that ass on these bigger amps, guys, that literally weigh 55 freaking pounds and have the technology in these big amps is not new. Hell no. You don't believe it? Go watch Bear vids. Watch a lot of go to his other channel, Bear Clips, and watch him talk about some of these badass amps people talk about. He'll tell you they're decent amps, but they're old ass technology. And to get parts for them, and when they is horrible, and when they explode like a grenade. And you spending more money in repair bills than the amp's worth. Don't believe it? Go watch his channel. Go watch Bear Clips. You'll know what videos I'm talking about. I'm not even going to say no names. Just go look at the shit. He'll tell you a lot of his best amps are Powerus, which are full bridge amps. The Corsus amps are killer amps. Tear amps for the money is a cheaper line, but it's a good amp. I got a buddy, he's an amp repairman. He's repaired all kinds of amps. He says Tear amps make some of the best amps that you can buy for the money. Now, he thinks a lot about Ruthless amps, and the Gately amps are good. But guys, those amps are very, very high. Ruthless not so bad as Baby Gately's. Baby Gately's is fucking $3,000 for one 15K. Alright, and nobody runs their system at 18 volts. I don't even know nobody running a test at that. Some people might, but that's few and far between. Most bass heads are going to be 16 volts and lower, especially if they're running a factory computer. Most factory computers don't like anything over 15.8. 16, they start wigging out. Not a little Scion runs perfect at 16. It don't have a bit of problem. No. But some domestic vehicles, hell no, they don't like it. No, shit no. Chevrolet, Ford, blah, 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 they hate it. You start getting them in 16 volt, That's why people have to run a separate alternator for just the electrical on the car. It doesn't like it. Go buy you a Toyota, it don't have that problem. No, I can run 16 volt all day, it doesn't do shit. No, it doesn't do a damn thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you can run your system at 2 ohms, and I'm going to show you this, I've done this one time with the Harmony subs. I'm going to order another set of subs at 2 ohms, dual voice coil 2s. I'm going to prove a point more than likely with these little amps right here, and run them at 2 ohms with higher voltages, and you watch, I'm going to be able to play it longer, less stress on my electrical. The electrical is going to last a lot longer as far as staying charged, less stress on my alternators because it's at 2 ohms. When you run that shit down in the dirt and you're running at 0.33, that's nothing to brag about. That's being dumb. That is being teetotal stupid. And anybody that does amp repairs or works on amplifiers will tell you that is not smart. Unless the amp is specifically made to run half ohm. Tear amps. The tear amps I'm talking about would be the MD half ohm versions. I got 3 of them, 12Ks. They are made to run half ohm. No problem. But they got to be beefed up. They got to be bulletproofed. I've been saying this all along. Why do you want to go spend $3,000 on one amp when you can buy 3, almost 4 12Ks for the same price? Why would you do that? The Teramp MD 12Ks will make 16,000 watts easy at 16 volt. And they're not stressed out, no, because they're made to run that. Now, these other amps, they'll say they're made to run 1 ohm, but, you know, it's at your risk if you run them at half an ohm. Because they're not made to be stressed out that long. No, the Teramps is made for that shit. Them things pull 1,240 something amps of current each one. But when you raise the voltage, it's not pulling that much current anymore. It doesn't need it because you raised the voltage. The current pull is going to be more at a lower voltage because it's having to pull harder to get what it needs to produce the output you want. You'll understand this hopefully in some videos I'll do later. Here's 6 of these amps. Guys, these were $139 a piece shipped. That's shipped, man. Tax and all, they were $449 for 3. So let's just say $450. Let's say $900 for 6 3Ks. These are not 3Ks, man. They're labeled as 3Ks, but you're really looking at 5,000 watt amps at 16 volt at 2 ohms. That is killer power. They're not having to get down at half ohm to make that power. They make Teramp 4 ohm versions that'll do 3K. That is what you call stupid power. And at 4 ohms, guys, it's going to be the THD is going to be cleaner. Anybody knows this. The lower you start getting in your ohm load, the more dirty the distortions get worse. They don't get better. They get better from 2 ohm and up. Efficiency's better, 2 ohm and up. That's why a lot of the Class A/B amps run at 2 ohm and 4 ohm. You know, when you bridge them, 4 ohm bridge, 2 ohm stereo. They're cleaner. They run better. Those amps get hot. That's just because of the way they're made, the design and all that kind of stuff. But when you're talking these newer amps, this newer technology, and full bridge is not really new technology. It's just now coming back. But this is really the way to go, guys. That's why China is making a lot of full bridge shit now. It's less parts, less shit to break. You have a lot more room to put things. Guys, these are tiny amps, man. A freaking 3K that's 3 by 5 by 8 inches long is tiny, man. These three right here is about the size of one 12K. Well, no, hell no. Let me take this back. This is not even stretching it one bit. And I'm talking about the boxes. Not talking about the amp size. We're talking about the boxes total right here. Guys, I've been to more shows than you can think of. And I've seen more amps than you can think of. And I know what they are. Let's just say one roofless amp or one salt amp is going to be that long is going to be a 6K. Right? This right here that you're looking at will beat the fuck out of a 6K. And if I take them out of the boxes, they're only going to be about this long. For real. And you don't have to have 4 double alt runs to them or 3 1 alt runs to each amp. Just think about the money you're going to save in wiring. You know, copper's not cheap. But for some reason, man, I cannot get it through to people's heads. They do not understand this at all. So, Deasnutz is going to prove a point like I always do. I'm going to prove a point, and I'm going to hook this shit up. I'm going to bust noggins with it. This right here. On some 2-ohm subs. I'm not going to stress the amps out. I'm not going to stress the subs out. They're going to be running cool. And people can't figure out why they get stinky sub all the time. They get stinky sub because everything is heating up. Not just the amp. The alternators are heating up. The wires from the alternator are heating up. Check it all with a heat gun. That's what I do. I test stuff at Corporate Audio. Yeah. Now let's get these little fans. This little fan is made by Fantech. I zoomed in on her. That's Fantech. Looks like a Mitsubishi sign, don't it? Guys, you can buy these fans for $6.50, both of them. Right there. Plus Po. Yeah. Right there. All you have to do to measure some shit is get you a pair of mics and measure it. That's all you got to do. You measure in centimeters. This is 40, and this is actually in millimeters. 40 millimeters by 10 millimeters. That's what this is. It'll give you the bolt hole patterns and everything. It's like 39.2 bolt hole pattern. Guys, that's what that is. But guess what? Deasnutz, instead of going with a 7-fin fan, I went with 9. That's 9. And I get 2 fans for $6.50 ship. They came today. Next day shipping. $6.50. FCCE compliant, same as this shit. All the same. Now, some of the clips are like these are the same. This is going to be a little bit different. But all you have to do is cut the wire, solder it, put you some shrink on it or some solderless shrink boots or butt connectors. You can't see the inside the amp unless you take the cover off. You can tuck the wires and it's going to run perfect. So if you have one of these fans that are not working, take the damn amp apart, test it like I showed you, and buy you some fans, man. It's nothing. $6.50, $3.25 for one fan. You mean to tell me you can't come out of your pocket and spend $3.25 to fix this fan? It's that hurting you that bad? Then you don't need to be in car audio. You don't need to touch it. You need to save up for your family and eat some good meals or something. But right here, these tear amp deals, guys, I'm not just saying it. I ain't just bullshitting. I've already proven these points many times, and I'm going to do it again with this shit right here and show you how these little tiny ass amps is going to whoop the piss out of these bigger ones. The size don't matter. This ain't a humping contest. No. This is called amplifiers and new technology. You guys take care. Have a great day. I hope you're learning from this. And remember, I've always said, when you start getting in these bigger amps, don't go over no damn 10K or 12K. No, hell no. You're asking for nothing but trouble. Now, when it comes to the tear amp stuff, if you get a 12 gay, no, they're not gay. If you go with a 12K, you're okay in that deal. But when you start stepping up to tear amps 30Ks and shit like that, trouble. Nothing but trouble. That is too much through those amps. No, you're going to have trouble. And when you lose that one amp, you lose your whole system. And you have to wait and send that big ass bastard off and get it shipped and pay all that shipping. This right here, guys, you're talking, these are disposable amps. I would not even send this off for repair. If I did, it would go to one person. But I'll be honest with you, to ship it there and back, I could probably just buy another one. I call these throwaways, man. They're not $1. They're $139. Watts per dollar, guys. Pay attention. Do your homework. Look this shit up. Please do your homework. Go to some shows. Look at some people that's running smaller amps now. They're running smaller shit. Number one, they got more room. Number two, it's less stress on the electrical. Number three, if they do need to get it repaired, it's less to send it off. There's more of them. There's more parts available. That kind of thing. You guys have a good day. Take care. I hope you learned something from this. I'll put this fan in. I'll clean that amp up. Show you it all works. And I'm going to have that little X-Fire amplifier jamming. And then I'll do something with these to show you what's going to happen. And we'll keep basing on. Yeah, you guys take care and have a great day. See you.